Okay, now. So our national park is Olympic National Park. So by Simon Valencia and Alessandro Molina.
All right, so Olympic National Park is located near Washington's Olympic Peninsula. It's in the Pacific Northwest, if you know where that is, around like Washington, Oregon, that kind of region. It's known for its coastal waters, its lavish rainforests, and its active volcanoes. Olympic did not start off as a national park. It was originally a national monument, which was established in 1909. Actually, Franklin Roosevelt is the one who made it into a national park in 1938, and this was because he wanted to preserve the Roosevelt elk in the region. He used to be a big hunter, he used to like that kind of stuff, and he wanted to maintain the diverse ecosystems in the region. Right now, the park sits at around 922,650 acres of land, which is a lot, and it has four distinct biomes or regions: the alpine, which is the mountainous region; the coastline, which is the beaches; the rainforest, which is a rainforest; and the dry forest, which is a lowland forest.
All right. So in visitor stats, basically the park, it's one of the most visited parks in the United States. It holds almost 4 million visits in a year. And if you see here in the chart, last year, 2024, it almost went into 3,800,000 visits. So right here. So it is a very visited park. From 1934 to 2024, the average was 2,053,400 visitors. So there's a lot of people who go, and it's an amazing park. So here we have the geosphere features. So the park is literally in the middle of the mountain. So it has a mountain in the middle. As you see here, it has 9 mountains that are very, very impressive. The principal one is the Mount Olympus, which has 7,980 feet, and is a pretty tall mountain. So this is the principal one, and the one that everybody goes to, and in the park. Moreover, it has like this Olympic oceanic crust because it is in a coastline. The park is in a coastline, so it has tectonic plates from the ocean and tectonic plates from the land. So the ocean floor is subducts, and this is what creates all the mountains. This is why it has a lot of mountains. It also has glacier valleys and a number of lakes. The glaciers are because of the mountains. They are pretty much in a high point, and this creates like really low temperatures, which it creates glaciers. And now lakes. It has U-shaped lakes because as the tectonic plates move, they create these type of lakes from the ocean. Okay, now the atmospheric features. Generally, the climate is very Mediterranean, and because of the mountains, it creates this rain shadow effect. So in the west, we have a different climate from the east. So for example, here in the west, we can see a lot of areas that are like wet because it has all the rainfalls falling here in the coastlines. So the Pacific Ocean is the cause of the climate. Therefore, we have a lot of rain here in this part. In the western part is really wet, and it has a lot of humidity, while on the eastern part is more dry. It has a more warm climate, more warm Mediterranean climate, but during the winter it has a very, very low temperatures because it's really dry. Here is where the dry lowland forests are present, which is our right here, the green ones. And because they don't receive enough precipitation, not enough water to dry. And now here in the Olympic mountains, which are this ones, this is a high elevation, so we have a lot of cooler temperatures, especially in the winter, and it creates a lot of ecosystems that are present on the mountains.
Okay, so for the hydrospheric features, like I said, Olympic sits on the Olympic Peninsula, which means it's covered by water on 3 sides, and it has some of the best pieces of the Pacific coastline that at least I've seen through pictures. The park, it gets over 140 inches of rainfall over every year, and most of this does come from glacial melt or snow packed on top of the mountains. Rivers and lakes have formed this region, like Simon said. It forms the valleys, and for example, the Ho River and Lake Crescent, they stem from waterways that come from the top of the mountains. On the top left here, you can see with all the greenery and the bridge in between, that's called Solduck Falls. It's a Native American language which translates into sparkling water river, and it's one of the most famous locations that you can visit in the park. It's honestly really beautiful. And while Olympic doesn't have any geysers, it does have geothermal activity in the form of the Solduck Hot Springs and the Olympic Hot Springs, and it also has active volcanoes. The aquatic ecosystem of the park, it allows you to see species such as sockeye salmon, trout, and river otters. Okay, you can go. Okay, so for biodiversity, Olympic does have a lot of biodiversity as it has 4 unique biomes. This biosphere lets you see anything from mammals, unique birds, amphibians, reptiles, and fish. And it's really important that these 4 ecosystems work together because it's a very delicate ecosystem. The 4 biomes, like I said before, are alpine, the coastline, the rainforest, and the dry forest. Again, like Simon said, on the west side of the park is where you're going to find the more humid, the cooler parts, where you're going to find the rainforest, you're going to find the coastline. It's where you're going to find most of the aquatic and mammals in the park. On the other hand, the mountains and the dry forests are going to be on the eastern side of the map. And here you're normally going to find big and small game, so think bears, elk, raccoon, beavers, and the salmon, like I mentioned before. You can actually see them in their spawning season. So whenever they mate, right, they swim back up the mountains of where they were born, and they die up there while giving birth. It's cool to see, but it's also kind of dark. Anyways, these regions, like I said, they interact with each other uniquely, and they provide over 1,450 plant species at the park. The coast, you don't see a lot of greenery compared to the other biomes, but you do see unique rock formations in the form of basalt, sandstone, shale, and mainly sedimentary igneous rocks. The rainforest does offer sights to see with its big trees such as the western red cedar, the Sitka spruce, and the western hemlock. And these forests also contain a lot of moss, spike moss, ferns, and lichen, which is where the start of the food web starts.
All right. So finally, we have the must-see attractions. As I said before, the biggest attraction is the Olympic mountain. This is the tallest mountain of the park, and it's mainly the most important. Moreover, we have the hurricane ridges. They are in the mountain areas. They have a spectacular view, including the Mount Olympus, obviously. But these ones are really hard to hike, so you have to be a good hiker to do so. And moreover, we have the coastlines. There is 3 beaches that are like together, and they're called La Push beaches, and they're directly
La Push.
to like the forest. So from the beach, you're gonna go into the forest, which is really beautiful. And then the rainforest. Here I have, those are the beaches, and this is the forest. And this is the the Hurricane Ridges, where you can see all the mountains of the national park. And finally, we have lake and rivers, two lakes that are really important, Lake Crescent. It has a lot of popular hikes, and it also has a falls that are called the Mare Falls Trail. Sorry. And you can follow this and see this beautiful fall. And the other one is the Lake Quinault. It is a beautiful lake, and you can fish, boat. You can go fishing, boating, hiking, and it's a home of the Loach, the historic Lake Loach. And these are references. And thank you.